bringing you the news and information you need from the people making a difference. This is Comcast Newsmakers.
Hello and thanks for joining us. I'm Paul Lisnick and this is Comcast Newsmakers. We're coming to you from the state capitol. We're here in Springfield, Illinois. And this hour's newsmaker is Julie Hamos, state representative of the 18th District. Today we're going to be talking about new Governor Quinn and what his list should be that he tackles first in his role. Always great to see you.
Hi, Paul. Thank you.
First of all, you were part of the inquiry and served on that inquiry committee of long-standing members.
Yeah.
Are you glad that nightmare is behind you?
You know, it really is. I'm glad it is over behind us, but I do want to say that the impeachment process itself was very challenging, very difficult. We knew we were setting historic precedent. We had to get it right. That was a very important component, and nobody's ever done this before, so we were creating the rules as we were doing it. What troubled me the most is that the Illinois Constitution is so vague. What are the causes for impeachment? That's all it says. So I wanted to make sure that we were very thoughtful, methodical, and that we were setting a good precedent for a long time to come.
Would we be better off with a recall bill eventually in the state?
Well, a recall bill has its own problems. We wouldn't want it to be overused when people don't like somebody's policy. That's what always worries me about a recall bill. That's the way it's been used in California. So we'd have to really check that. An impeachment or a recall should be used really only once every 100 years in the best of circumstances.
Well, then we've got a long wait.
Yes, and there's something really amazing happening right now as we're taping this in the state capitol, which is that new Governor Quinn is spending time with us in the Democratic caucus. He's been there over an hour. He's answering questions. He came to visit. He's extending that olive branch. He talks about partnership. He's teamwork. This is a new day in Springfield. We never saw the old governor. He didn't come to Springfield.
So this is refreshing.
This is very refreshing. And also, this governor really is a longtime student of government. So he has a lot of information about how things run. And really, nobody stumped him on any issue at all, in terms of what his thinking is about what he ought to be really working on.
And as he looks at a new agenda, you're there to help because you essentially have done a survey of your constituents and even beyond.
Yes.
And you've been able to sit down and say, all right, Governor Quinn, here's what the people say you need to tackle. So what's number one on the people's agenda?
Well, it's very interesting. So the first thing that I'm fascinated by is that I sent out a survey farm-wide, not just to my constituents, and 1,400 people responded in 1 week. Now, what that tells me, Paul, is that people are engaged. Whether it started with the Barack Obama campaign when so many people really participated, and then right after that was the impeachment process, a lot of people tuned into that, paid attention, and now people are watching us and they're engaging. I think that's such a positive sign. This is really democracy in action.
Right.
So when I asked the question, what should Governor Quinn tackle first? I gave people a laundry list, and they're all important. I would have a hard time voting for which one he should really work on.
Let's give him the votes.
And the top two, number one, pay our bills to health and social service providers, and number two, take the federal dollars that are coming from the economic recovery plan that we expect to be passed as we're taping this almost momentarily, and spend it not only quickly but wisely. Those were the top two. So it's almost like in this economic crisis we're in, as the voters, the survey respondents and families are tightening their belts and trying to exercise some fiscal restraint, they want government to do the same thing. They picked two not very sexy ideas, but they want us to do it well.
But we also have a fear of taxes out there. Can we expect that, do you think, to pay these, if they want us to pay the bills?
Well, I also asked people, how should we increase state revenues? Again, gave people a long laundry list. And what came in number one on that is create a graduated income tax and tax the wealthy. Now, a graduated income tax, for the viewers here, people should know, we would have to put that on the ballot as a constitutional amendment. People would vote for it.
Okay.
And I think that's a good sign. That's, again, a way that Pat Quinn likes to do business, get people engaged.
All right. And what constitutes somebody who's wealthy?
Well, hasn't been developed yet, but I'm sure people will be doing the back of the envelope calculation.
It's above me, I can tell you that.
So none of that is easy, and he has to do some other stuff first.
All right. Thank you, Representative. Good to see you. This hour's newsmaker has been State Representative Julie Hamos, and I'm Paul Lisnick. And thanks for watching us here. This is Comcast Newsmakers. Bye-bye.
The preceding was